Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, lines 1 to 18 by Geoffrey Chaucer. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Clare. When that April with his showers through to the drought of March hath pierced to the root, and bathed every vein in rich liquor, of which virtue engendered is the flower, when Zephyrus, seek with his sweet breath, inspired hath in every holt and heath the tender crops, and the youngest son hath in the ram his half a courser run, and smaller fowls maken melody that sleepen all the night with open eyes, so pricketh them nature in her courages, that longen folk to go on pilgrimages, and palmers for to seeken strange strands to fairen halwis, couth in sundry lands, and specially from every shire's end of England to Canterbury they wend, the holy blissful martyr for to seek, that him hath holpen one that they was seek. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, lines 1 through 18, by Geoffrey Chaucer, read for LibriVox.org by Erwit. Whan that April with his shores suit, the drought of March hath pierced to the root, and bathed every vein in switch liquor, of which virtue engendered is the flower, when Zephyrus eke with his sweet breath inspired hath in every holt and heath the tender crops, and the younge son hath in the ram his half a courser on, and smaller fowls maken melody that sleepen all the night with open ee, so pricketh him nature in her courages, than longen folk to goon on pilgrimages, and palmers for to seken strange strondes, to ferne halves, couth in sundry landes, and specially from every shire's ende of England to Canterbury the wind, the holy blissful martyr for to seke, that him have holpen when that they were sick. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, lines 1 to 18 by Geoffrey Chaucer, read for LibriVox.org by Cara Schallenberg. Whan that April with his showres sote, the drought of March hath pierced to the rote, and bathed every vein in switch liquor, of which virtue engendred is the flower, when Zephyrus eke with his sweete breath inspired hath in every holt and heath the tendre croppes, and the youngest son hath in the ram his halfe coursie run, and smalle fowles maken melodie, that slepen all the nicht with open ee, so pricketh him nature in her courages, dan longen folk to goon on pilgrimages, and palmers for to seken strange strandes, to ferne halwes, couth in sundry landes, and specially from every shire's ende of England to Canterbury they wende, the holy blissful martyr for to seke, that him hath holpen when that they were seke. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, lines 1 through 18, by Geoffrey Chaucer, read for LibriVox.org by Kristen Hughes. Whan that April with his shores sote, the drought of March hath pierced to the rote, and bathed every vine in sweet liquor, of which virtue engendred is the flower. Whan Zephyrus eke with his sweete breath inspired hath in every holt and heath the tender croppes, and the younge son hath in the ram his half coursie run, and smalle fowles maken melodie, that slepen all the night with open ee, so pricketh him nature in her courages, then longen folk to goon on pilgrimages, and palmers for to seken strange strandes, to ferne halwes couth in sundry landes, in specially from every shire's end of England to Canterbury they wende, the holy blissful martyr for to seke, that him hath helpen one that they were seke. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, lines 1 through 18, by Geoffrey Chaucer, read for LibriVox.org by Karen Savage. One that April with his shores sote, the drocht of March had persed to the rote, and bathed every vein in such liquor, of which virtue engendred is the flour. One Zephyrus eke with his sweete breath, inspired hath in every holt and haith the tender croppes, and the jonge sonne hath in the ram his have coursie ronne, and smalle foole smaken melodie, that slepen al de nicht with open ear. So pricketh hem natuur in hier courages, than longen folk to go on pilgrimages, and palmers for to seken stronge strondes, to ferne halwes, couth and sondry londes, and specially from every shires ende of Engeland to Canterbury they wende, the holy blissful martyr for to seke, that hem hath holpen, one that they were seke. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Prologue to the Canterbury Tales, lines 1 through 18, by Geoffrey Chaucer, read for LibriVox.org by Val Grimm. One that April with his showers suit, the drocht of March hath persed to the root, and bathed every vein in switch liquor, of which virtue engendred is the flour. One Zephyrus eke with his sweet breath, inspired hath in every holt and heath, the tender croppes, and the jonge son hath in the ram his healthy coursie run, and smalle fowles maken melodie, that slepen al de nicht with open ear, so pricketh hem natuur in hier courages, then longen folk to go on pilgrimages, and palmers for to seken strange stronze, to ferne halwes, couth and sundry londes, and specially from every shires ande of England to Canterbury they wand, the holy blissful martyr for to sake, that him hath holpen, one that they were sick. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.